Hello, my name is Daniel Mart. I am an actor and filmmaker based out of South Florida, and this week I wanted to talk about something that actually came out last month. And the reason I didn't talk about it is because I was basically doing my Halloween lists. My top 20 favorite Walking Dead episodes, top 15 Final Destination favorite deaths from that series. And I really want to talk about this because it honestly I don't want to say it surprised me per se, but it wasn't something I was expecting either. And that is the fact that Best Buy is now going, as of next year, or starting next year, they're no longer going to sell physical media anymore. They're not going to sell DVDs, Blu-rays, 4Ks, whatever have you. They are not going to sell that anymore. Now, they are still going to be selling video games, so for any gamers out there, no need to worry about that. But for cinema lovers, for people who just enjoy movies like myself, for those who know me, they know I have an extensive movie collection that's over 1,000 titles. For people like me, this is a huge blow, in my opinion. And I kind of just wanted to talk about this because, honestly, the current state of physical media is something that I've not really enjoyed the way it's going. Thanks to the rise of streaming services, of course, stuff like Netflix, but now you also have stuff like Disney Plus, for example, Hulu, Max, or whatever the fuck they want to call it now, Amazon Prime, etc. The need for physical media has slowly diminished. And even then, I use the word need kind of in quotation marks because of the fact that even streaming services themselves, HBO Max, or whatever they want to call themselves, being the most notable example of this, Max has in the past taken away titles from their streaming service. And for me, that's part of the reason why I think we still need physical media, why we still need DVDs, Blu-rays, etc. Because then you don't have issues like that where titles, whether it be TV shows or movies, if they're randomly taken off whatever streaming service they're originally intended to be on, if you have them on DVD, then that's no longer a piece of lost media. And honestly, that's kind of the issue with it. This thing with DVDs and movies slowly dying out, physical media slowly dying out, it is a bigger issue than just, oh, Best Buy is no longer going to be selling them. There's a much bigger issue to that. It's the fact that every day, every year, every month, whatever, we are slowly losing the ability to sustain that physical media, to sustain those movies that we may not be able to watch in 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Films that are currently being made right now in 2023, we may not be able to see in maybe even 10 years from now because they're not on any streaming service because people like, let's say, Zaslav wants to take them out of Max because of a fucking tax break. That may be the issue now. And then we can't ever see them because they were never made available. And honestly, I think that's very depressing. Like even for people who don't collect movies, I think just the ability to still have to watch movies, I guess is what I'm trying to say, should always be there. And the fact that it's being taken away just sucks. And Best Buy, I would say, is maybe was the biggest seller of movies for a long time. And right now we're down to Target, Amazon, and Walmart. And honestly, those are stores, Target more so than Amazon and Walmart, but those are stores that even themselves are slowly phasing out, selling out movies. I mean, there's currently Target stores themselves that no longer sell movies. Now, not the whole entire franchise Target, but there are certain stores that no longer sell movies. Those that do sell movies still, their catalog, their inventory of movies is so much more diminished than it was even 3 years ago before the pandemic. And that's both in-store and online. And the fact that Best Buy, one of the biggest proponents, one of the biggest champions of movies, of selling DVDs, Blu-rays, whatever, is no longer going to be selling them within the next 2 months. Essentially, in the next 2 months, are no longer going to be selling them. So honestly, very sad, especially for me because I started off the bulk of my collection is basically from Best Buy. Granted, the first couple movies I got were from Target, not gonna lie. After I discovered Best Buy, which sounds kind of weird, after I discovered Best Buy, because Best Buy has always been an establishment. But yeah, after I discovered Best Buy, the bulk of the movies I got were from Best Buy. When I used to go to Miami-Dade College, MDC, I took the train because I live in, it's a very suburban, it's a very suburban neighborhood, white picket fence type of crap, and that's basically where I live. And MDC, the campus I went to, is in downtown, so I often would take the bus and the train to get it from my house to college, and vice versa, from college to my house. And oftentimes, going back to my house, there's a Best Buy on the way, and I would often stop at the station where the Best Buy is and go to Best Buy and buy movies, and I would say that the majority of my collection, maybe not the majority, but a good bulk of the collection that I have right now is from that time when I used to go to MDC, and I would just stop on the train, stop at the train station that has the Best Buy, and go to Best Buy and buy movies, and my mom would often criticize me, like, oh my gosh, you're spending money on movies again, like, it's whatever, whatever she says in that regard, it's whatever, because it's my movies, it's my money, whatever makes me happy, right? Plus, better that than drugs. But I mean, all jokes aside, after this year, I don't really get to have that experience. I mean, realistically, I haven't had that experience since even before the pandemic, because pandemic happened, that didn't really go back to school, at least not to MDC, and then when I went back to college, it was at FIU, and I didn't really have a need to take the bus and train anymore at that point. And even then, even if there was, I don't think there would have been a Best Buy on the way. Predictably not, probably not, but besides the point. But even then, I don't have that luxury anymore. It's one of those things I did think about for some time, because I work at Banana Republic, so now I do have that journey again, where I more so coming back, where I go to work and then I come back and I take the bus and train, and on the way it's that same train station with the Best Buy. And I was thinking, maybe sometimes after I get a paycheck, I could go to Best Buy, buy me a couple movies and go from there. But now I can't do that anymore. I could still stop at that train station, and funny enough, there is a Target at that train station, and buy movies from Target, but it's not the same as Best Buy, And the thing is, it's not just in physical stores. It's also in online. They're not going to sell them online. They are completely stopping in general, and I think that's just very, very depressing. The current state of media, I guess, physical media, movie media, whatever, it's just something that's been very disheartening. But just like the actual state of media, consuming media, how we consume media. And I'm not going to sit here and criticize streaming services, because in certain ways they have helped further media, especially like international films, independent films, all that good stuff. They, in some ways they have strengthened the medium, the cinema landscape, but in a lot of ways they have hurt it. And I think right now the biggest way it's going to be hurt, and we've seen examples of this thanks to Zaslav. Go fuck yourself. But thanks to Zaslav, we've seen examples of this where shows or movies could literally be taken off streaming services and they're lost to the ether. Again, this is 2023, not 1923. If this was a film from 1923, like the Gollum films, in the 1920s they made a trilogy of Gollum films. Only one of them has survived, and the other two are lost to the ethers of time. That I understand, because it's 1923. This is 2023. American Pickle, I believe that's the Seth Rogen movie. We can't see that, even though it came out like 5 years ago. We can't see that because it was only on Max, and we can't see that anymore because a DVD for it was never made.
Hey, I just wanted to get on here very fast and make a quick correction to my original statement when it came to An American Pickle. So it can still be watched on Amazon Prime, and apparently in the UK there is a DVD version of it. I honestly just said American Pickle because that was the first movie that popped into my head I knew was taken off of Max. So that's why I said it, but the general point I made still stands, where the fact that movies are being taken off streaming services and now they're becoming harder and harder to find, and that was really my original intent with that, but I just wanted to be transparent and said, hey, here's this very quick correction. Okay, on to the rest of the video.
There's a bunch of movies that we've already lost, or current day, recently made films and TV shows that we have already lost, and we're never going to be able to see that anymore. And the best way we would have normally been able to see that is through DVDs and Blu-rays, but we can't see that anymore. And I don't know. It's just a very sad time, and the death of physical media. That's basically what it comes down to, and it's honestly very very disheartening. I mean, for me, again, I just remember collecting movies. I mean, I still collect movies. For me, that's the thing. I like collecting movies. I like buying movies. I like feeling movies, which I know sounds weird, but like getting the not cassette tape. What am I saying? The the DVD box or the Blu-ray box. Opening it up. Even feeling the disc, which sounds kind of weird, but I like feeling that whole experience. Even if I don't pay attention to it, even if it's like just me handling it for even 10 seconds, whatever, but just feeling that, even that, it's an experience that you don't really get from clicking a couple buttons on your controller or on your computer or whatever, just to watch whatever movie you're gonna watch on Netflix, or Max or Disney Plus or whatever other streaming services that there are in the ether. There's like 50 of them. Okay, you have Tubi, you have Crackle, Shudder, Criterion. I mean, I guess kind of going on with that Criterion comments very fast. I mean, you do have, when it comes to physical media, you do have websites like Criterion, like Arrow Video, for example. You're able to get some of these rare titles, these more hard to find titles, and that's good. I mean, that's something you're never gonna find in Best Buy. But still, there's still a difference between buying online and buying in person. I think for me, the fact that just one of the biggest proponents of physical media, literally the biggest proponent of physical media, and now they're not doing that anymore, and that honestly sucks. That's honestly a shame. And I mean, I have to imagine part of it, the reason that they're doing this is because they're just not seeing profits anymore. I saw one of the statements that from one of the Best Buy representatives. I'm not sure if she's like the CEO or a council member or whatever, but she said that they want to try to bring more innovative technology into Best Buy to sell. Which makes sense. I can't blame them for that. If something's not making a profit, why still go with it when you could be making a profit somewhere else? I get that, but at the same time, to a certain degree, that's what you're known for. That's what you've been known for X amount of years. And again, to a certain degree, that's your bread and butter, and it's not gonna be your bread and butter anymore. And I guess you're just gonna be relying on video games now, which, similarly to DVDs and movies and whatever, how long is that really gonna last? I mean, it's kind of in the same avenue. How long is that really gonna last? I just find it very disheartening, and it sucks. I mean, that's really it. Simply put, it sucks that physical media is slowly dying out, and there's really nothing that can be done about it. All I really know is that when Black Friday rolls around, especially if I'm not working. I mean, granted, Black Friday is basically the whole weekend at this point, but whenever Black Friday rolls around, and then again during that Christmas, New Year's week time period, whatever, I'm gonna be stocking up on movies like a motherfucker from Best Buy, because I'm assuming by now they're probably on a hell of a discount. So yeah, but that's basically it. I just want to come here and talk about that. I know it may have sounded like I was rambling for a while. Probably it is what it is. But yeah, the current state of physical media just sucks. Let's go with that. The current state of physical media just sucks. And again, one of the biggest proponents of it, how the mighty have fallen. Let's go with that. How the mighty have fallen. So yeah, that's basically it for now. What are your thoughts on this? Comments all that down below. Let me know. And what are your thoughts on physical media slowly dying out? What are your thoughts on Best Buy? Again, one of the biggest proponents of physical media, just not being a proponent for it anymore. Yeah, what are your thoughts on all of that? I don't know. Comment all that down below. Let me know. And yeah, that's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart signing off.